viewers, good day everyone, and welcome to Harmless TV. I hope some of you have heard the news flying up and down on social media concerning the arrest of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the IPOB leader. Yes, the Biafra hero. I want to talk about this issue because I've been seeing some comments online, and I've been seeing some people jubilating, being happy, dancing, saying all sorts of things, so on and so forth. But I'm here just to clarify it to everybody that prison or cell is called Ayoko City, is no man's land. And I hope some of you can remember a lot of presidents that have been in prison for so long before they can achieve that post. And I want to tell you that some of them achieved that post not because of election or one thing or the other, but because they are brave and heroes. So the people trust in them, and because they have demonstrated the goodness, the kindness, and the love they have for their people, that is why at last the people will now accept and even support or even vote for them or even make them president. So for some of you that are happy that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been intercepted and now he is facing charges, he have to appear in court, let me tell you what is going on. Now, I want to read the news concerning Mazi Nnamdi Kanu so that some of you will understand where I'm coming from. Because I feel that many also haven't heard about the news. So let me just read it out so you will understand. And then I will give you my own points of views. And I'm giving it to those ones that are happy, that are jubilating, that are dancing, that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been arrested. Okay? So I want to prove you all wrong. And I want to let you know things in this life, that there is never a pleasure without suffering. You can never make it without passing through hard times, without passing through stress, without sacrificing. You will not make it. And remember that even when a mother is giving birth to a child, she will cry, she will shout, she will suffer, she will yell. But at last, she will laugh when she have a baby on her hands. And also remember that when a baby is coming to this world, the first thing they do is crying. The first thing they do is crying, suffer, before that we humans, before even we can accept them that they are living, before we can accept them to be among us, because we know that they have passed through those stress. And I hope some of you read the Bible. I hope some of you understand what is written there in the Bible. And also I will still want to let you understand, I want to let you know that the gold that you normally see and you buy with a lot of money, that gold have passed through the fire, through the coal of fire before it becomes gold. So it is called suffer before pleasure, my people. So don't get it twisted when you hear that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was arrested, or because this is not the first time they are arresting him. And he is not the first person that have been arrested as a freedom fighter. There are many of them. And I will give you some few details of some of them. But now let me just read the news out for you so you will understand what is going on. Because they are just covering some kind of things up. They are no. It was said that Nigerian separatist leader brought back to Nigeria to face trial. That is what they said. according to CNN, it said Nigeria separatist leader Nnamdi Kanu was located and brought back to Nigeria to face trials for terrorism. Nigeria Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami said in a press conference on the Tuesday. He said Mazi Nnamdi Kanu went missing when he failed to appear in court in 2015, and his whereabouts prior to the arrest was unknown. Officials did not disclose where he was apprehended. Okay? Now they told you that they arrested him and brought him back to Nigeria, but they did not tell you where they arrested him. They did not tell you what happened before the arrest. Okay? It was also said that he had been brought back to Nigeria in order to continue facing trials after disappearing while on bail regarding 11 court charges against him, said Malami. Said that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was apprehended on Sunday, June 27, 2021. Said that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was initially arrested on the 14th of October 2015 and on 11 court charges bordering on terrorism, treasonable felony, managing an unlawful society, publicating of defamatory matter, illegal possession of firearms, and the improper importation of goods. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has become a businessman now that is importing goods. They said amongst many others. This is what the Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, said. According to the article, it said Nigeria President Buhari described prison break, which freed nearly 2,000 inmates, as act of terrorism. Okay, now before I go into the details of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, my lovely viewers, I just want to give you some clue of some there is few presidents, few of them, because there are a lot of them in this world, but I'm just going to give you just few of them that were freedom fighters, later went to prison and released for prison. They still become the president of the country. The people voted for them. Okay? The people accepted them, undermining the names, the whatsoever they call them, criminal, terrorism, so on and so forth. Why did the people accept them back? Because they know that they are not terrorists, but they are fighting for freedom. They are fighting for liberty. They are fighting for progress, and they are fighting for their people to defend their land. So that is why many of all those presidents, all those freedom fighters can become president at last, because the truth will surely come out at last. Now, number one is Nelson Mandela. I hope some of you remember the Nelson Mandela, the South African president. You remember how this man fought apartheid with the Westerns for how many years? But today, South Africa is free. Today, South Africa is not being ruled again by white man. He was the first black man to rule South Africa, to rule his own land. So you can see, that is why we call them heroes. Okay? Because they are speaking for you and I. They are speaking for each and every one of us. If someone comes out to defend life, you have to respect that person, no matter what. And I'm not telling you that. Anyway, I will come back to the issue of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, but let me just give you some few reasons what happened to Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela, when protests met with brute force, the ANC launched an armed struggle with Mandela at its head.
As for your president, these are his words. Many of those misbehaving today are too young to be aware of the destruction and loss of lives that occurred during the Nigerian Civil War. Those of us in the fields for 30 months who went through the war, we treat them in the language they understand. Remember, Babangida have also sent you to prison, eh? Don't get it twisted, that is the truth, you know. Because he is the one that used his own mouth to say it. He used his own mouth to say that he has been in prison because before he was busy arresting everybody, every big name, all big musicians, including Fela Kuti. He arrested all of them and sent them to prison. But what happened to him at last? Ask Muhammadu Buhari. If he was not detained in 1985, over 2 years, by the military president Ibrahim Babangida, just ask him that question, because he thinks that life is in his hands, but no. So I think him also, he have been in prison, but today he's president. So fellas, let me tell you guys, don't stress yourself, because Nnamdi Kanu is definitely going to be released there by fire, by force, whether you all like it or not, and you will see the grace that God will give to him.
That was the same year he freed his country, his continent, from slavery. Okay, that is for Mandela for you. Now let me give you another clue of another man in Uruguay. His name is Jose Mazica, Jose Alberto Pepe. They give him guy named Pepe. Mazica Condan. That is the Spanish pronunciation. He was born on the 20th of May 1935, and he's an Uruguayan politician and farmer who served as the 40th president of Uruguay from 2010 to 2015. This particular man was a former guerrilla with the Tupamaros. He was in prison for 12 good years during the military dictatorship in the 1970s and 1980s. He even won the 2009 presidential election and took office as president on the 1st of March 2010. This is another man from Uruguay. This particular man, Jose, went to prison for good 12 years. And when he came out, he became the president of Uruguay, the president of his country. This particular man was the person that donated at least half of, that is 90% of his salaries. He donated 90% of his salaries to the poor, to support the poor people, and also he donated also to the Caritas that work to support small businesses and those living in poverty. You understand? After so many years, up to today, this particular man don't have luxury cars, don't have luxury homes. He live in a farmhouse with his wife, even up to this extent. He have his car, but the car is all those what does it call? Volkswagen. That is what you're looking at right now. This is his car, Volkswagen, as a president. Some people even called him the poorest president in the world. That is one of the poorest presidents in the world. But for him, he said he didn't see himself as a poor man, because he's a rich man who have enough to eat and also give to people. Because the poor people are those ones that have money, but they don't want to help anybody. They will just keep it to themselves, because they know that maybe tomorrow they don't have enough to use. So they will just keep it to themselves. But when you have money, you feel inside you that you are rich. Richness does not mean that you have money and you keep it on yourself and you just use it on yourself only for you and your family. That is not called richness. Richness is when you have enough to give to people, when you have enough to save lives, when you have enough to help others. That is what is called richness. And to him, he is rich and never poor. Even up to date, people always respect him. Okay? Now, I wanted to go to another one called Robert Mugabe from political prisoner. He was a political prisoner and freedom fighter to colonists, modern dictators. He was known by his supporters as a warrior against white imperialism. But in other hands, the West know him as a dictator who presided over the extent of his nations. That is what they just the white, that is the white people, the people he is fighting, who was fighting against them also are fighting against him. He is telling them that they are using Africans as a slavery, all those kind of stuff. He wants to free his land. But those Western people saw him as a dictator, as somebody that wants to come and try them. So you see, there is no way, my lovely people. That is still what is going on with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The people that is fighting for know what he's doing for them. But those evil ones that is against him, they are the ones calling him dictator, terrorist, so on and so forth. And then let me make it clear to everyone that I am harmless, and that is my name. I am harmless word voice. I will never support bloodshed, war, killings, robbery, kidnapping, so on and so forth. If you have never experienced war, you can be praying for war, but I have experienced one. So I never prayed for war, and I can even do anything to invite it, that war will not come to my place. War will not come to my house, my area, to my family, to whatsoever, to my continent, or to my country, or to even where I'm staying. I don't like it, because I know that anything named war is called bloodshed, dying, that is death, and so on and so forth. But you see, what you people fail to understand is the issue of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Some of you are taking him as terrorist, but I bet you that this man is not a terrorist. He's just a soft-hearted somebody, sympathetic, that is very sympathetic for some people, because he never wants his people, his family, his country or his continent, his origins, and let me say his brethren to suffer intimidation, whether you are from his country or you are not from his country. Because if you listen to his voice, his words, sometimes you will see that he's crying for you. He's crying because of the pains that the Nigerian government, especially the Fulanis, the Boko Haram, the jihadists, the ISWAP, the bad terrorists, what they are causing on his people. He felt the pain and he came out to express himself. Let me tell you where I found out that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not a terrorist and can never be a terrorist. He just have good mind and kind mind just to save you. He was just born that way, and it's not his fault. He cannot stop. The way he is, he cannot stop. Because when God created you, God gave you destiny. He gave you something inside you that you will go to the world and what does it call? And show to the world. Practice it. Teach the world. Like the way Jesus Christ came, like the way TB Joshua came, like the way a lot of prophets, pastors, presidents, many of them, the ways many of them came to defend, to save, to heal, and protect their people. He is one of them. Where I found out that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not a bad person started from the time of EndSARS. I watched through I watched everything, all videos. Let me say, and let me not say, or let me say 80% of the videos of the things that got through at the during the NSAS protest. That at that time, if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was a bad person, was a terrorist, was an evil man, that was the particular time that Biafrans will stand up for themselves. You see that flag that was raised at what does it call? Toll Gate, at Lekki Toll Gate. That's Nigerian flag that was raising there. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was the one that told his people to raise Nigerian flag. Why? Because he thought that after that, when you all came out to fight for, that is to fight for freedom and to complain about the brutality of the SARS police, that things will be different, that Nigeria will still remain as one, that peace will still reign. That was why he asked you people to raise Nigerian flag. If not, he will tell the Biafrans, he had followers for so many years. Remember, he had followers for so long. He could have asked them to raise Biafran flag at that moment. But he never did, because he thought that Nigeria will still remain the same. But what happened last? The same thing that happened the time of NSAS. That is the same thing that is happening now. Because what happened at the NSAS was that after you all came out to proclaim and to say, that is to complain about the brutality, the humiliation of the SARS police, so on and so forth, you did not join hands together. When you see that things come up somehow, instead of you to stay firm and strong, you started complaining. Just like the time when Moses was leading the children of Israel, they were complaining at the desert. That was what you people did. And before you know it, you started accusing the Biafrans. You started accusing Nnamdi Kanu. You put all the whole issues of NSAS, all the whole bad acts of NSAS, you put it on the head of the Biafrans. Whereas it was not supposed to be so. But because some of you are evil, because some of you are wicked, are devilish, are jealous, greedy, because some of you are tribalistic or what, because some of you don't know what is wrong with you, you see yourself, that is, you see another human being different like you, but you forgot that God created us one day, not 2 days, not 2 women. With one woman, God created the rest woman. But that was Eve that gave birth to the rest women. With one man, God created the rest men. But now, you are taking everything and everybody differently. And that is what is causing racism, xenophobic, so on and so forth on this earth. Okay? So, he never allowed them to raise Biafra flag. He allowed them to raise Nigerian flag because he believed and he thought that Nigeria will change for good. But he never knew that many of you are backstabbers, many of you are betrayers. Now, along the line, after the NSAS, before the issue of that same NSAS was the same provocation that led to this particular unrest in that your country called Nigeria. Because it was from the NSAS issues that many policemen started killing the Biafran people, started complaining that it is the Biafran people that were burning police stations, they're doing all sorts of things, so on and so forth, causing problems. Whereas it's not just Biafran people. Everybody was angry then to complain and to emphasize, that is to speak, to give their own that is a right to speak for themselves, to let the world know what is going on, what was going on there. But you never learn. From there, you started killing the IPOB, you started killing the Biafrans, started accusing them, especially Cross River State. Cross River State, and no, not Cross River, excuse me, River State. River State is one of the problems that caused these calamities on the southeast of Nigeria. River State governor is the particular person that made this issue to rise up, because he was the first person that started killing the Biafrans in his land, whereas he is also a Biafran. You see why I said many of you are backstabbers, greedy, envy, devilish? Because all what you think is just about wealth, riches, name. You never think about the life of the vulnerable ones. You never reason about the life of the young children that are growing up. What will be their future for tomorrow? Abi, you don't even remember how your parents suffered, or because you have made it, you believe that your child can still make it tomorrow when you are not there. You never think of their future. What you did was to start killing IPOB. From there, trouble came up. Before you know it, from River State to other states, to other states, to other states, killings continue. And now when the IPOB see that you are killing them, we know how many homicides that went through in the River State. We know how many homicides. That case supposed to be a terrorist issue. In fact, the governor of River State have to even they have to arrest him and bring him for trials, because he committed atrocity and genocide against his own brethren, his own brothers. But he never did that. Now, many of you have taken the Biafrans as enemies. And especially within the Biafrans, there are still no love within them. That is why you see, you just give way to the enemies to enter you. I have said it before, that unless all of you are one, unless all of you come together, if not to achieve your success, will be very, very difficult. What pains me most now, let me tell you, I don't believe that IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, or the Biafrans have the heart to kill their own people. But what caused this problem was that since you government, you Nigeria government, are killing them, and the one of River State is not the first time. You remember 2015, since 2015 you started killing IPOBs. When they will go for their meetings, you will go and attack them, kill them, shoot them, take some of them to prison, so on and so forth. Even you never stopped. After the River State governors did his own, many of you governors in the southeast continue chasing IPOB. When you left terrorist group in your forest, when you left them in your territory, in your areas, in your bushes, killing and kidnapping your people, you never did anything. But you are busy chasing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the person that is still fighting for you. And let me tell you, you Biafrans, and let me make it clear for you all, I'm not for only Biafrans, the whole entire Nigerians. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is fighting for you all. You can remember what is going on in the northern part of the country. Even up to date, bandits have been kidnapping, raping, collecting ransom, beheading people, forcing them to Islamization, forcing them to fight with them, giving them bombs to go and commit suicide, so on and so forth. Can you apprehend them? The Boko Haram and their group? No. Why? You know why? Because if you are the founder, how how can you still apprehend them? You are the one that sent them. And now, Boko Harams and all those terrorists, the Fulanis and their problems, they never stopped doing their atrocities on their land alone. They left their faraway northern part of the country, went down to the southern part, to the eastern part, and to the western part of the country, hiding in the bushes, killing and kidnapping and raping their women and their men, even forcing them to leave their own lands for them and their cows. Nobody said anything, but the only person that stood up to talk against that issue was Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Let me tell you, the Biafrans, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the only hero you have now. If you lose this opportunity, I told you in my other last video, I don't think anybody will come out again to stand for you. I think that many of you can fear the northern part of the country today. Many of you are fearing them, Abi, when they tell you that they are coming. Excuse me. When they tell you that they are coming, you will just be looking for where to hide, where to put yourself, where to run to. Abi, you are afraid of them. But in your own part, there is nobody afraid of you. That is why they tell you that your properties, your land, even your oil, your gold, your whatsoever, including your wife and your children, belongs to them. That is why they told you that they have right over you, that you have nothing in that land, that everything belongs to them, because they know that you cannot cough. Okay? That is why. Now, the only person that will make them to scare away from you, to scare away from your land, to scare away from your children, not to kill and kidnap and rape them, the only person that is voicing for you to stand and defend and protect and guide your land, you are fighting against that same person. And that same person is your own brother. That is a shame. And it's like a curse, you know. It's like a curse. I don't know what is wrong with you people. I say it so many times. The ones that baffles me in this matter is the issue of the Niger Deltans and so on. All of you, I have told you all, this is not the right time for you to come and say that I am from Niger Delta, I am from Edo, I am from Yoruba, I am from this, I am from that. We have to start sharing and dividing ourselves now. No. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not there for your oil, for your money, or for whatsoever. He's just there to save your life. Even tomorrow, if you can achieve your freedom, you will be surprised that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu self will not even accept to be president. He can even, you people can vote and elect any other person. That is not his problem. Even after you achieve your freedom, you can still split yourself if you want. And he told you that so many times. I just see that it's because of selfishness and greediness and enviness that is causing many of you to separate yourself at this moment. And that is the same key that they are using to scandalize you for so long. Because the Northerners know that you people can never be one. They know that you cannot hold yourself. They know that you cannot protect yourself, because they know that you are evils against yourself. You are jealous against yourself, and you are greedy. When you look at the northern part of the country, when one person says something, the whole of them will accept it. The whole of them will follow that person. But in other parts, like the southeast, when one person come out to say, the other one will say, who give you mouth? You small rats. It's you that will come and talk. You are there sitting, making mouths, making money with our name, this, that. And you see now that everybody will be bowing down for. I watched one video the other day. They're saying that the way Nnamdi Kanu is doing, look at the way the Biafrans are leaning down, bowing down for him. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did not ask anybody to bow down for him. He deserved it. He deserved the royalty. Because it's not easy for you to go to prison for the sake of another person, for you to sacrifice your life for the sake of other people. It's not easy. So if you see that the Biafrans are respecting him, you have to appreciate it. And if you want to be respected, you have to do the same.